You're watching Fox Sports.
Hello everybody, I'm Tim Bailey and welcome to Geelong, the closest you'll actually get to Tasmania without being there. This is round 2 of the Peters Ice Cream Beach Volleyball Tour. This is it, your own sensational sand pit. Let's get ready to beach party! Round 1 in Coffs Harbour was a story of the old and the new, the tried and the true. The raging bull, Julian Prosser, and new kid on the block, Mark Williams, blew away former partner Lee Zana and Olympic champ Dane Blanton. Tried and true, Kerry Pothast and Natalie Cook dominated Angela Clark and Pauline Manser. That old gold magic is exactly what it used to be. So who's going to be hungry enough to knock off the victors of round 1? Could it be Victor? Victor Anfiloff himself and Ryan Phelan check the semi-final action.
Thanks, Tim. And here we have the well-known pair of Natalie Cook and Kerry Pothast versus Nicole Sanderson and Annette Huygens-Stolen.
Nicole Sanderson and Annette Huygens-Stolen, no slouches. They've been playing on the World Tour for a couple of years now. So it's a great up by Natalie Cook. Quite a long rally. Annette Huygens-Stolen up nice and high. What can Kerry do here? Of course, she slams that one away, brings up the point.
And the top seeds into the final where they should be. Summer Lockowitz and Kylie Gerlich defeated Angela Clark and Pauline Manser.
Probably a little bit of a surprise. We might have expected Pauline Manser and Angela Clark to do a little bit better than that, but Summer and Kylie are definitely the form team on the tour at the moment.
So let's have a look at the road to the finals. And of course, we expected Cook and Pothast to be there. They're the number 1 seeds. They took out the opening round in Coffs Harbour. They're looking for more victory here in round 2. Gerlich and Lockowitz, a surprise?
Not really a surprise. Gerlich and Lockowitz have certainly been in great form of late, so anticipated that they would make the final.
Now to the men's, and joining me is Kerry Pothast, and it's a case, Kerry, of age versus youth here.
That's right, Ryan. Martin Swan from WA and John Byron from South Australia, they were given a wild card into the event, made it through to the semi-finals, but just couldn't quite match the experience of Prosser and Williams.
Of course, Prosser and Williams won the first round at Coffs Harbour. Now here we go with the semi-final 2, Shot and Slack versus Anfiloff and Boyd.
Great match-up here. Shot, as you know, Shot and Victor Anfiloff playing together for 6 years. First time again they're playing against each other, not wanting to finish second best. It was a big tussle, but again, Shot and Slack were just too good. You can see there, great experience, great defence. See what Victor can do with this. Nice little choppy, looks for the hole, picks it up. Unfortunately, couldn't get them through to the final though.
And they won in straight sets. Prosser and Williams again go through to another final in round 2 here at Geelong, and so does Shot and Slack, who were the second seeds for this tournament. Now let's go down to Tim Bailey. He's with Kylie Gerlich and Summer Lockowitz.
Kyle's number 3 seeds, knocking off the number 2 seeds, and now eyeing the number 1 seeds. You're pretty comfortable on the other side of the net. What tactics do you take in against Kerry and Nat?
For us, we really need to use our serve as a weapon, really put some pressure on them so that their offence isn't as strong as what it can be in normal conditions.
I think they'll bang their serve hard, and that's really what they've got to do in this weather, because once you have a strong serve, you put the other team under pressure with the passing and the setting, and that's what we're going to have to do too, but that's the main thing.
Natalie and Kerry are hot favourites today. Here are the underdogs. Kylie Gerlich, there's Summer Lockowitz coming out. She's a 24-year-old and has been on the tour for 6 years, chasing her first win today. Volleyball's been her life, but what's life after volleyball?
Still up in the air a little bit. I've had a couple of different options where I'm keen to actually look towards the police force and going and help with juvenile rehabilitation. But it's putting something back into the community, basically.
Police force, huh? Well, you have the right to remain fired up today, Summer Lockowitz. You'll need to be, because you're up against the Olympic champs. Your partner will be Kylie Gerlich. She's been on the tour now for 4 years, but amazingly, this is her 3rd partnership. wonder what she thinks of Summer.
Apart from her being taller than me, she has a really good aggressive attitude about playing, which makes us work really well together because we're both very aggressive, we both want to win, we both work really hard, and so I'd say her aggressive attitude.
They'll need every little bit of that aggression today because they're coming up against the #1 seeds and the 2000 Sydney Olympic champions in Kerry Pothast and Natalie Cook. And here they come onto the court now, and they'll get a warm reception from this crowd. There's Natalie Cook, affectionately known as Nat, and the 27-year-old will be very, very fired up for victory here today. Of course, the pairing won the opening round in Coffs Harbour, where they defeated Pauline Manser and Angela Clark. It was quite a comprehensive victory on that occasion, and one could only expect a little more of the same today, especially from Kez the Cannon. That big serve will be effective in that swirling breeze here today at Geelong. Now, since round one, those guys have travelled to Brazil, Kerry Pothast and Natalie Cook, and they've had a bit of success over there.
They went back to Brazil to play the Olympic rematch between Adriana and Shelter from Brazil, and they came up trumps.
Now, would they be riding high in confidence here, or maybe a little bit tired?
No, definitely. They'll be a little bit tired, but surely they're a great team, and they'll be very confident in this match.
Kerry on serve.
That's a great serve. That's a good start by Kerry. Summer's in trouble. Let's see what Natalie can do with this ball. It's a great set. She crossed that ball off the block. Kylie Gerlich just unable to control that second ball over the net.
Victor, that breeze is going to wreak havoc here today.
Yeah, it just makes one end really an advantage. When you're serving into the wind, the ball tends to dive down, just like we saw right there, Kerry using that wind.
So I dare say for these first 7 points that the Olympic champions will be making the most of this end.
Absolutely.
Kerry's on serve now. This is to go 3-0 up.
Kerry, a very aggressive serve, causing a lot of problems for Summer and Kylie. It's a good save. Natalie Cook, you can see that she froze Summer Lockwood's on the angle and then went to the line shot. See here in the replay, it's a great set by Kerry, nice and tight on the net. And she turns that ball inside out, back to the line, and Kerry back to serve.
Gee, well, if they're tired after Brazil, they certainly don't look it. They're here to play. Kerry's on serve.
She'll be attacking this wind again. Yep, that ball is just wide. Someone was lucky to leave that one. If the ball touches any part of the line, that ball is in. I think that brings back Kylie Gerlich to serve. She'll be serving with the wind at her back, so an aggressive serve here is a little bit harder. So let's see whether she'll go with a jump serve or a float serve. She's gone with the jump serve and a very aggressive serve with the wind as well. Kerry controlled that well. And she's crushed that ball right at Kylie. She was there. Great set. Nat Cook is on that ball. Kerry using the second set over, and it's successful.
They read that very, very well, the Olympic champions, and they did well to stay in the point.
Kerry set that ball. Whenever you play the ball over the net, you must set it in line with your shoulders, and she did that very nicely on that point. Natalie to serve, a great short serve. Good save by Kylie, who's just cranked the ball angle. Natalie Cook, she's got that ball on a string, deep in the corner. Kylie unable to control that.
And early here in the first set, Cook and Pothast, the #1 seeds here in round 2 at Geelong, take an early lead, 5-1.
Ryan, this is a good old-fashioned spanking right here. Kerry and Natalie high on momentum from their Brazil victory, 17-9 against Gerlich Lockowitz. Gerlich is still cranking those serves. She's not going to go down without a fight. That's a double contact by Summer Lockowitz. That ball was not deemed to be driven hard, therefore the set must have been clean, and it wasn't.
Now here's the kicker, because they're going back down to the good end, Pothast and Cook, and they're going to make the most of it.
They're up and they're going to the good end. So Kylie and Summer might need to call to the crowd to have a few more players on their court at this point in time to save this match.
And you can see the crowd a little bit rugged up today because it's cool here at Geelong.
The action's a little bit cool at the moment too, but Kylie Gerlich, a nice little cut shot. The thing about these two players is that you know that they will never give up. They're going to keep on pushing, and there is another set in this game.
They've really got to come up with something, though, because at the moment, it's total domination from the Olympic champions. Now here's Lockowitz on serve.
Summer goes to Natalie. Natalie crushed that ball angle. It's interesting. Summer Lockowitz is the normal blocker for the South Australian combination. And in that occasion, Kylie Gerlich was actually blocking, and Natalie took advantage of that.
Expect a big serve here from Kerry, 19-11.
No, she's actually gone for the slow serve to the line. That sets off the net, and Kylie Gerlich just couldn't quite put that one away. Summer set that ball about 1.5 meters off the net, which is very difficult to attack from there.
Now that brings up set point, and they are looking very, very good at the moment.
Yeah, it's hard against a quality team like Kerry and Natalie. Kerry's still going for those serves right at the end. That one just taking the net, and that brings Kylie Gerlich back to serve.
A little bit of a sniff here for Kylie and Summer.
Well, yeah, well, Kylie's going to have to serve about 25 aces right now to win this set. She's gone with the float serve. This is for the set. Great block by Summer Lockowitz. Like I said, either 25 aces or 25 blocks is going to win in this set.
Make that 24 now, Victor.
24.
Still a long way to go.
Kylie Gerlich with the float serve again. Set point to Podhast and Cook. Going back to Kerry again. No way, Jose. Kerry Podhast's cranking that ball on the sharp angle, and that brings up the first set.
You're watching round 2 of the Peters Ice Cream Beach Volleyball Tour, famous for its pretty boys and girls, its beautiful bodies, and its magnificent faces.
Here we go with the second set of the women's final, and at the moment, Summer Lockowitz and Kylie Gerlich need to pull out something special if they're to beat the Olympic champions Natalie Cook and Kerry Podhast. Now here's Kylie on serve. What are they going to do to get back into this match?
I think they're going to stay with their game plan. They're going to keep cranking the serves. They've actually started at the good end with the wind in their faces. And there you go. No, that's a point to Kerry and Natalie. It looked like that ball went wide. That was a great dig by Kylie Gerlich as well. Kerry over on the first ball. 1-0, Kerry back to serve. So there you go. She's got the wind at her back, and she's going for the float serve, and that wind just blowing that ball long.
Is it hard to know how to serve from that sort of end?
It can be difficult. Sometimes you just got to stay super aggressive, or else just locate the serve.
Here's Summer.
Summer cranking that serve just like she said she would. But Kerry, oh no, Natalie Cook, she's got her game face on.
And she's trying to pump up this crowd here today. They're a little bit chilly with this cold wind, so she's trying to warm up the crowd. Certainly hot action here from the Olympic champs, and Natalie is on serve.
Another float serve going to Kylie. Kylie's gone with the back set. Great little cut shot from Kylie Gerlich. Natalie Cook just unable to control that ball. Let's see what the girls can do now. They're facing the wind. They need points. They got flogged in the first set. Let's see what Kylie Gerlich can do now. I reckon she's going to smash this serve, Ryan.
Now at the moment, Kylie just pausing. 2-2 is the score.
Just visualising where she's going to hit this serve. She's gone for it. It's a great serve, a nice deep serve. And she's got a point from that play too. She forced the passing error, made the set difficult, and Kerry had a problem with this set, and she's hit it wide. You can see she got in there a little bit too early. The ball's behind her head, and it's forced the error.
3-2.
Kylie Gerlich crossed that serve again, and it's just tagged the net. She'll take that. It's a new rule. It's been around for about 2 years. The ball is allowed to touch the net. So we see quite a few aces in that situation, and Kylie Gerlich and Summer Lockowitz, they'll take that point right now.
That's where power is an advantage on serve. 4-2.
Looking for a massive serve here. Just crank that one again. Good control by Kerry. Good save. Little cut shot, Kerry. She was in a terrible position to play at that ball, but she still managed to pull out a great cut shot.
Welcome back here to the Peters Ice Cream Beach Volleyball Tour. This is round 2 in beautiful Geelong, a slight breeze, and we're here in the second set. 4-3, and that one just a little bit wide there for Kerry.
Yeah, she's hit that one off the antenna. She's certainly going for it, serving it hard into the breeze. That brings Summer Lockowitz back to serve.
Just a little bit of tactics being talked here.
Just trying to set up a play. Summer will serve and run into block. Great shot by Kerry. She saw Summer Lockowitz retreating from the net, and she's just gone along just over Summer's head.
That brings the score back to 4-3, and now Natalie goes down the good end to serve.
What we call the good end, with the breeze blowing in your face. Great serve. Good save on that set. Summer Lock, which was about 2 metres off the net, very difficult to hit the ball away from there, and she did. Well done.
We're starting to see a shift of attitude here from Summer and Kylie in the second set, and a much needed one as well.
It does seem that the tides are turning. They got whipped in the first set. It's 6-4 in the second set. Kylie Gerlich serving. Nice deep serve. Forced the passing error from Natalie Cook. She'll only come up with a line shot. Oh, Kylie Gerlich screaming and crushing that ball down.
Certainly buried that one right on the line. And most importantly, they're really starting to assert their superiority here in the second set because, as we mentioned just moments ago, the tide may be starting to shift here, and they're down the bad end serving as well. Kylie on serve.
Still being very aggressive. Kerry hitting that ball high. Nice save, Kylie Gerlich. Falling away. Still managed to play it in. Great defense. Kylie is on fire in her defense. Let's see what Natalie Cook can do on this play. She smashed that ball down the line. Kylie's a great defensive player, but on the net, probably a little bit short to be blocking. So Natalie Cook taking advantage of that situation and hitting that ball down the line.
That was a great point, and Kerry with the smile on her face there. The girls, I speak of Kylie and Summer, were disappointed. They really fought hard to stay in that point, but unfortunately, they didn't come up with it. Now here's Kerry.
They seem to be picking on Kylie at the moment, and that's why Natalie Cook with the flex down.
18-16 now. Lockowitz and Gerlich are back in this match.
Well, like we expected, Ryan, girls were never going to give up. They did get crushed in the first set, but they just kept on cranking those serves, and that's what's got them back in this game.
Grey cloud hangs over Geelong.
Summer, great serve again. Kerry crushing that ball nice and high off Summer's block. Summer has to jump serve, then get into the net to block that ball. On that occasion, she did it. She got there. Great set by Natalie, and Kerry's just gone high and hard off that block. Great play.
So 17-18, and Kerry is on serve. So things a lot tighter here in the second set. It was really quite a whipping in the first set to Cook and Pothast. They took that quite comprehensively, but a game on their hands here in the second. Natalie is on serve.
That's it, Ryan. The thing about a three-set game is if you win the second set, you go into the third set with a lot of momentum, and then anything can happen. And Summer and Kylie, that's what they're looking for right here. That's a great side out by Kylie.
They're starting to grow in confidence too a little bit, aren't they?
Slowly, but ever so surely.
And that's probably something you need a lot of against Cook and Pothast, the Olympic champions.
You've got nothing to lose against these girls. Great up by Kylie Gerlich. They're battling hard. They're not going to give up. What can Summer come up with here? And that's a double hit on Kerry Pothast. That set was non-simultaneous. She's going to the ref. She wants to ask the question. She's not happy with it.
Okay, so Kerry not very happy with that one.
Sooty, the referee, laying down the law. That was a double hit. Move on, girls.
And here's Kylie. This is for set point.
Who would have thought? Pressure here. Kerry. And that's what Kerry does in pressure situations. She goes back to what she knows best. Cranking that ball high and hard. Kez the cannon.
And she has work to do here because she needs this to stay in the game.
They do need this. Summer and Kylie only need to side out here and they've won the set. And then we're in a tiebreaker. Great save. Is it possible that they'll score a point from this? Summer behind. Oh! Just didn't adjust her feet to get underneath that ball on that occasion. She dragged the ball into the net. 2019, what a game.
And Natalie absolutely loved that one.
She's happy about that. Kerry with the float serve. Kylie just has to put this one away for the set. Oh, she's buried that ball.
Game on, baby. We will go to a third set.
Well, I'm going to take your mind off your final for a second and talk about this one. First set blowout. What can the third seeds do here to get back into it?
It looks like so far they've been staying with him and they're up right now. I think it's good on the women's side to see Nat and Kerry challenged a little bit because from last weekend in this tournament I've been watching, they've kind of been blowing everyone out. So I think it's good to see an even game.
Mark Williams is in a new partnership with Julian Prosser. He caught up with Tim Bailey earlier. Now we're into a third and deciding set here.
Yeah, probably unexpected, Ryan. The way Kerry and Natalie were playing in the first set, we thought this game was going to be a whitewash. But now we're in the third set. This is the first to 15 points, and they must win by a 2-point margin.
And that looks like first blood to Kylie and Summer. No. Have we got a dispute here?
Bit of conjecture here on that call, whether the ball was actually in. If the ball contacts any part of that line, that ball is in. And that's what referee Richard Kasut was saying there. Summer Lockwood's back to serve. They're still aggressive. But so is Natalie Cook, putting that ball down. She wants to fire this crowd up too a little bit.
Earlier in an interview with Tim Bailey, we heard Kylie and Summer saying they really need to smack those serves. They're doing that here in the second and third sets.
And they're doing it from both ends with the wind in their face and at their back. Kerry, she's going to fight this game as well. That's the thing about Kerry and Natalie, is that they will never give up either. So this is going to be a supreme third set right here. You can see Summer Lockwood almost begging Kylie to pull something special out here.
This would be a real feather in their cap, just the second round into this Peters Ice Cream Beach Volleyball Tour, if they can beat the Olympic champions.
Kerry Potas, it's not a great set. She had to bump that ball over the net, and they need a block right here. No, Kylie Gerlich facing the angle and then turning that ball down the line inside Kerry's block, and that brings up a point. A bit of momentum being built up here for Summer and Kylie.
You said it, Victor, because Kerry and Natalie are just looking a little bit out of sorts at the moment. Maybe that hangover is starting to kick in from Brazil.
Yeah, maybe jet lag, possibly. I can tell you what, I'm not going to take anything away from Summer and Kylie. They're taking it to the Olympic champions, and that's a double contact on Natalie Cook.
And you could see the look on Kerry's face there, not happy. So they've got a little bit of soul searching here to do the Olympic champions.
Very interesting right here, Ryan. The score is 5 points to 2 in a set to 15 points. That's quite a big lead. Kylie cranking that ball again. A great block by Summer Lockwood, and Kylie Gerlich knows it, Summer knows it, and all of Geelong knows it now. Our Olympic champs are in trouble.
At 6-2, they have some work to do. Look at Kerry. She's not happy. She's trying to pump herself up here. We have a real game on our hands here in the third set, because Summer Lockowitz and Kylie Gerlich have taken a 6-2 lead over the Olympic champs, and Kylie is on serve.
6-2's a handy lead in the third set when it only goes to 15 points. Kylie Gerlich has cranked up an ace. I'd be hugging my partner at that stage of the game as well. Good aggression from Kylie Gerlich. Can she go back to back?
That makes the lead now 7-2.
That ball again down the middle. Natalie Cook's all over it. Great set. Natalie Cook just tagged that net. Kerry gave her a very tight set. Didn't have much. And she's not happy with that call either. She's asking the head referee what happened.
So, confusion all round here. We don't know what's happening, but she was not happy about. She's still not looking at Natalie.
The referee
She's, not happy about that one at all.
The referee has called a net touch on Natalie Cook, and that brings up another point, and it's 8-2.
Kylie on serve from the bad end. Wind a little bit more swirly.
Effective serve from Kylie Gerlich. Great set from Natalie Cook. No, from Kerry, and she's cranked the second ball. That was a great set from Kerry. She was way deep in the backcourt. She managed to put that ball right on the net for Natalie.
The Olympic champions now find themselves in an unusual situation, that of being in a situation of under pressure, because they are now 3-8 down here in the deciding set. We go to 15, and Natalie is on serve.
You have to remember, too, that these girls were down in the Olympic final against the Brazilians in the Sydney Olympics, so they're queens of commanding pressure. Let's see what Kylie Gerlich and Summer can come up with here. They have the momentum. They can smell victory. Kerry and Natalie's heads are down, looking for answers. Summer has the serve. Wind at her back.
And a swirling one at that.
She attacks and she gets the dribble off the net. I can tell you, as a receiving team, that is a heartbreaker.
So that now takes the score to 10-3.
Everything seems to be going Summer and Kylie's way at the moment. Off-speed serve from Summer. She's at the net. Little shave to the middle from Natalie Cook. Kylie Gerlich unable to get to that ball. 10 points to 4. Kerry needs some aces.
They certainly do. They're under a great deal of pressure here to stay in this match.
Girls are probably feeling the jet lag a little bit from their return flight from Brazil last week. But that's a point. These girls are down, but you can never count them out.
So, most importantly, we now have a swap of ends. And if the girls were to get any sort of momentum, they were going to hope to get it down the good serving end. Now they're back up the bad end, Victor.
Yeah, they've got their backs against the walls now. They're 10-5 down. And Kylie and Summer have just changed to the end with the wind in their face, which we call the good end. So Kerry has to produce something here, serving with the wind. She's gone for it. It's a great serve with the wind. Summer Lockowitz bounding out of the sand and burying that ball. That brings up 11 points to 5.
Could this be an upset on the cards? Maybe 11-5 at the moment because Kerry and Natalie are down to Summer and Kylie, who are growing in confidence.
I can tell you at 11-5, first to 15 points, Kerry and Natalie are in dire straits, and Summer is just throwing balls back, unlucky on that occasion. But still, that only brings up 1 point for Kerry and Natalie, and they need another 5.
It's a different sort of intensity here from the Olympic champs, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it seems like a little bit of an ambushing here by Summer and Kylie. Put the Olympic champions to sleep in the first set and then came out firing.
Here's Natalie on serve.
Kylie cranking that ball to the angle. Good save by Kerry. Good save. Natalie knows she needs something here. She's going to rev herself up, rev Kerry up, and try to rev up the Geelong crowd.
That's more like it. 7-11.
Still a chance. Sensory picking on Kylie Gerlich, and she just keeps running back. While Kerry and Natalie insist on peeling off that net, Kylie's got free rein to smash that ball with no blocker.
Now that gives Summer and Kylie a very healthy lead here in the deciding set.
You know that anything is possible with a team of the caliber of Kerry and Natalie. They can come back from here. 12-7. Let's see what Summer can come up with. She's cranked that ball hard into the wind. She knows she's ahead and she's got nothing to lose. She's going to have a go.
Now, could we see this start to seesaw? Because we've got the change of ends. That wind isn't as severe as it was earlier, though.
It is still definitely the advantageous end. And right now, if I was Kerry, I think I'd be smashing that ball, and it looks like she's going to.
Here's the cannon.
Great serve. Summer Lockowitz. Again, they've retreated off the net.
And what call have we got there?
That ball is in.
So, Kylie and Summer just starting to get a few little things go their way now, and that may just be the mental edge they need over the Olympic champs. Now here's Kylie on serve.
It's got to be said that Kerry and Natalie keep peeling away from that net. It makes it a little bit easier for Kylie and Summer. I think they can smell a victory coming this way, Ryan. And Kylie's smashing that ball with the wind. That brings up 13 points to 9. They're at the good end with the wind in their face. They need some aces right now.
And at the moment, Kylie and Summer are starting to grow in confidence, but most importantly, Natalie has serve down the good end. What can they do with this?
Well, I can tell you now, they need a point on this play. And with that kind of serve, it might not do it. Crawl. That ball is just long. We said they needed a point, and they have got a point. They are the Olympic champions. They won the Brazil rematch last week. They're still in this game.
And this is a game of inches here in the third set. It's going to affect both sides mentally.
Let's see what Summer can do here. She needs a side out. There you go. High and hard on the angle inside the defense of Natalie Cook. And that, Ryan, brings up match point.
Can you believe it?
I couldn't. At the first set, it was 13-21 that Summer and Kylie lost to Kerry and Natalie.
And the crowd is absolutely bewildered by what they've seen here. This has been a great comeback by Summer Lockowitz and Kylie Gerlich. They were thumped in the first set. They fought hard in the second. And, well, they've really dominated here in the third.
Just look for their reaction if they win this point. Their first tournament win. Great serve by Summer. A little set. Oh, Natalie Cook. It's not over, Red Rover, by any means. She's drilled that ball. I need a front-end loader to get that ball out of the sand.
And if the Geelong crowd were a little bit quiet earlier, I think they're starting to fire up now. They're loving this. Could we have a comeback on our hands?
Oh, it's going to be a comeback of epic proportions, that's for sure.
Now here's Kerry on serve. And an important one.
Kylie and Summer just need to get this ball on the sand, and the match is theirs. Kerry's on that ball. Great save. Interesting. Oh, and they won it. They've won their first title. They've beaten the Olympic girls. There's a big hug. I'd be hugging my partner too after that comeback.
And the crowd are loving this, and so too are Summer Lockowitz and Kylie Gerlich. They are going absolutely ballistic because they've beaten the #1 seeds and the Olympic champions.
Summer, what a moment. Your first big championship in Australia with Kylie.
Oh, it's awesome. It's unbelievable. Been waiting for this a long time. Been playing on the tour for about 6 years now. It's a great moment now.
First set, you know, they wiped you, and you must have had that same sort of feeling yourself. Oh, let's be a bit better than this.
Oh, absolutely. We sat there in the first set and we're like, we've got to reassess what we had to do, and we decided, let's switch it on now and let's play some volleyball, really.
Hey, you did that for us. Congratulations. A truly special moment. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, should they be happy because they've beaten the #1 seeds and the Olympic champions, and, well, I think that's just going to make things a little bit more interesting for Manly in round 3.
Certainly will. It's not one-way traffic anymore. Kylie and Summer have stepped up, and they're going to be a team to beat.
Victor, thanks for your time today. We're coming to you from beautiful Geelong for round 2 of the Peters Ice Cream Beach Volleyball Tour.
This weekend, the top 16 teams from around the world try to outdo each other for skill, pace and endurance. Live, the IRB World Sevens Tournament from Brisbane starts today at 1, Fox Sports 2. This Saturday on the NBL, league leaders the Wildcats fly to Melbourne determined to tame the Tigers as they look to give their coach Lindsay Gaze his 300th NBL victory. Live, Melbourne takes on Perth, 7:30 tonight, Fox Sports 1.
This month on National Geographic Presents, we bring you the finest documentaries, courtesy of Abby Tucker.
Yeah, and it's been tough, but I've loved every minute of it. So look out every Wednesday at 8:30 for National Geographic Presents.
And from one secret life to another, as we explore the lives of those who dare to be charmed.
This is just an incredible animal.
Don't miss the premiere of Snake Wranglers. Then explore Asia with a twist as we step into a world of the weird and the wonderful. No one goes further to bring you Inside Asia. For some it's flesh, for others it's a canvas.
It's your body, play with it.
Over 3 big nights, skin. Then every society has their rules. And they're there to be broken. For it is our differences that make us human. This series will shock you. Taboo. This month on National Geographic Channel. It's your choice.
This weekend from the Premier League, the action kicks off with another London derby. Tigger's Fulham travel across the capital to face league leaders Arsenal in the Sunday morning match at 1:55.
Oh, what about that?
12:45 Monday morning. Glenn Roeder and the Hapless Hammers are in for another tough battle at Upton Park as the red half of Merseyside march into town, determined to turn around their recent poor league form. Then at 3, Graham Taylor's Villains look to give their claret and blue faithful something to cheer about at Villa Park as they take on a confident Rovers outfit whose focus is now well and truly back on the Premiership.
What a terrific goal!
First up, Sunday, Arsenal Fulham. Then on Monday, West Ham Liverpool, followed by Aston Villa Blackburn. Congratulations, Mendy Ash from East St Kilda, Victoria. You've won the Fox Sports Great Aussie Victories competition with 4 tickets to the Bledisloe Cup in Sydney in July. Now that's a great Aussie victory, all thanks to Fox Sports.
This is the Peters Ice Cream Magic Moment, the men's semi-finals. Julian Prosser on serve.
Nice block there by Mark. Over the top, Julian's got it. What can Mark do? Deep. Martin gives him a nice set, going over the top. Oh, blocked out again.
That's what I call strong defence. No, that's what I call a Peters Ice Cream Magic Moment.
If you're having a bet over the net, what are the odds of a big upset? Coming up, the men's final. Big Prosser and his mate Williams up against Shotty and the Slack Man.
Yes, Tim, and in round one at Coffs Harbour, they were the top seeds on last year's rankings. And here comes Joshua Slack. Would you believe this pairing were mortal enemies when they were playing on opposite sides of the net, but now they're really starting to get their act together. I wonder what Josh thinks about Andrew these days.
Best thing about him, he's really composed on court. He's a great setter, so he always puts the ball in a spot for me to pound away on.
And there he is, Big Andrew Shot, or Shotty as he likes to be called. He's 29 years of age and he knows every inch of this game beach because he's been on the tour for 11 years. This swirling breeze today could wreak havoc, but then again, it may just play in his favour.
Yeah, well, it's pretty blowy down here, so one end of the beach is really good for hitting your serves into, so hopefully when we can get down there and bank some good serves, get some points, and going to the other end of the beach where the wind's at your back, hopefully we can make some good plays up there and save some balls and keep the score even to get back down and hit some good serves again.
Julian Prosser and Mark Williams are a new pairing here for the 2002-2003 tour. And there is Mark on screen. He resides in Los Angeles, California, so he knows this game pretty well. They had a win in round one. Wonder what they can do in round two. And here's his partner, Julian Prosser, the big man. He has a big serve. He's very strong at the net, and he will be looking to assert his superiority today. The Thunder from Down Under has a wealth of experience and also confidence under his belt from that first round from Coffs Harbour, so they'll be looking for a win today. Kerry Pothast rejoins me, and Kerry, really looking forward to this one.
It's going to be a fantastic final. It's quite a bit of wind there today, Ryan, so they're going to be really looking to use that. Oh, great swing with the wind behind him. What can he do with that? Oh, no. Into the stands. I don't think Julian was very happy with Mark then. That was a fantastic hit by Josh.
We look at those flags, Kerry. That is quite a swirling breeze out there today.
It is, and the players try and pick what we call the good end, and you like to be serving or spiking into the wind. Makes the ball dip. When you've got the wind behind you, it's a lot harder, as you saw there with Josh. He tried to power the ball small and low over the net, but the wind just dragged it down a little bit too far.
So Mark Williams is now back on serve.
Let's see what he can do into the wind here. He's going for a big serve himself. He's a big guy, Mark, 6'7", I think. Nice little jump set. Oh, straight over the top of Julian. Nothing Julian could do about that. Andrew Shott's pretty happy with himself going back to serve now. We'll have a look at this.
He's quite a unit, Andrew Shott, and he put a lot behind that one as well, didn't he?
Yeah, they're both big guys. I wouldn't like to meet them in a dark alley, that's for sure.
Here's Andrew on serve.
Easy dig there by Julian. Oh, has a little look and caught Andrew just stumbling in the backcourt there. Had to have a little look there. The set wasn't quite where he wanted it. Couldn't get a good swing on it. You can see him dip his head there. Sees Andrew on the right. Little chip shot. That's where we just slice on the side of the ball to the left or the right.
Here's Julian.
Nice dig by Andrew. Oh, straight down in the ground. That's Mark's trademark, the big block.
So a lot of power and finesse out here. Let's go down to Tim Bailey. He's in the Cairo tent, and I don't mean in Egypt.
What are some of the major injuries volleyball players carry throughout a tour like this?
Probably a couple of the big ones with the beach volleyball players in particular is lower back and shoulder. Because the sand is an uneven surface, they're having to make a lot more accommodation with their body for where the ball's going.
He actually sounds like he knows what he's doing, so it's not just an excuse to put your hands on some of the best-looking athletes in Australia.
No, it helps to know a little bit about what you're doing as well.
Gadge, can I just ask you first, how does it feel?
It's fantastic. He's got the best hands in the business, definitely.
How long have you been going out?
We've got the scores of 3-1 here in the second set. Mark Williams on serve.
Easy float serve to Andrew Shott. Nice control. Oh, he thought the block was there. Julian had pulled off. Big hit. Still going. Have another go, Julian. See what he can do. Oh, has a little look over the top.
Great scrambling there from Josh and Andrew, but unfortunately couldn't stay in the point. That now takes the scores to 3-2. Here's Mark on serve. Having trouble with those caps today with this swirling breeze here at Geelong.
Yeah, you can see the Hyundai signs in the background there. They're really moving, and the palm trees. The ball's moving a lot as well. Big bang there, nice hit by Andrew's shot, unable to control that. Mark Williams puts him down into the sand.
Is it a tactic to keep that ball in the air a little bit longer in this sort of breeze?
Well, it's actually better to keep it lower in this breeze because the higher and longer it is in the air, the more chance it has to move around and the harder it is to make contact. So, great serve there by Josh into the wind. Nice dipping to the left serve down towards Mark's right-hand side.
They're really making the most of that good serving end. There you can see that breeze. That is really starting to kick up now. The scores are 3-all. And Josh just waiting for a little bit of repair to the court there. He's showed great athleticism today. He really can get a lot of height for such a, well, I wouldn't say a little bloke, but he's certainly smaller than most of the others on the tour.
Exactly. I mean, Josh and Andrew are both smaller than Julian and Mark, but they both have incredibly great jumps and very, very good ball control. Julian there just threading the ball across the net. We say threading the needle sometimes with a little slice cut shot off to the side.
4-3, and we're swapping ends most importantly for Julian and Mark because they really need to make the most of this good serving end.
That's right. Big high serve, trying to go over the head of Josh, not far enough. Oh, great dig by Julian, and again, have another go. No. And he's unhappy with himself, but Andrew likes it.
Was that a little bit of stirring happening at the net there, I think, Kerry?
Absolutely. They're all good friends. Andrew and Julie have been playing on the World Tour for a long time together in other teams, but they travel around the world. They stay in the same hotels. They eat meals together. They practice together. So they're all good mates.
Australian sportsmen love a bit of trash talking. Beach volleyball is no exception.
A little bit different in the women's competition. Bang! He's all over that. He's saying, I can dig you too, Julian. Yeah! But you can't get that one.
These boys are really pumped up today. Andrew Schott and Josh Slack. They want this one. They missed out in the first round at Coffs Harbour and they can really smell victory here. They've taken the first set and now they're starting to assert their superiority in the second. Now Andrew is on serve.
Andrew's got the wind behind him, so let's see if he opts for a float serve, which is a lot more high probability of getting in. But no, he's going for a jump serve. Low, keeps it low to the net. Great dig by Julian. Not a good set. Easy pick up. Let's see what he can do here. Off the hands. Mark's all over the net. Great hit there. When the ball's that tight to the net, you really have to try and use the blocker's hands to wipe the ball off. So that's push it off the side of their hands and try and get the ball down onto the sand.
So the height of Mark Williams just not advantageous enough on that occasion. And yet another point to Andrew and Josh. Looking very good today.
Yeah, right, and they've actually been training really, really hard in the last 2 years or year and a half together. They had a great World Tour season this year. Finishing higher, in fact, than Julian Prosser and his previous partner, Lee Zana. Nice stick there. Had to play it over. You're only allowed to touch the ball 3 times on your side. Great pick up there. And finding some sand in the backcourt. Finding Julian and Mark were both up close to the net. Shotty giving a little fist pump. He likes that.
Well, should they, Kerry, because they're looking pretty good here in the second set as Andrew goes back to serve at 7-4. And that wind is still swirling around. What can he do with his serve here? Well, nothing, because Julian and Mark have taken a timeout. So 7-4 are the scores here in the second set in the men's final of round 2 here at Geelong for the Peters Ice Cream Beach Volleyball Tour. Kerry, how have you gone on the injury front since you've switched to beach from indoor?
Well, the sand's a lot softer, Ryan, but we still get lots of injuries out there, knees, shoulders, backs, and we really have to look after ourselves.
Now, we've got a tussle on our hands here, 17-16.
Right over the top there by Julian into that last little inch of sand. There he is again. Big jump. Big boy, Julian Prosser. 18-16 now. They've got a bit of a lead here, and they're playing into the wind, the advantage. Oh, off those hands of Mark's. He couldn't get a good block on that. Josh is getting out of the sand. He's an incredible jumper. He gets right up there. He's got one of the highest jumps on the sand, and that's not easy.
He probably needs a high jump because Mark Williams is a pretty big fella and he needs a bit of height to get over the top of him.
Exactly, and I think one thing that Andrew and Josh are going to be doing today especially is trying to move their attack around and try and keep Mark off balance at the net, because that's their only hope, because when he's up there and he's got both his hands over the ball, there's not much place for it to go.
Josh on serve to level the scores.
Oh, what a way to level the score into the body of Mark Williams. He goes, thank you very much. Didn't like that block you gave me a minute ago. I'm going to knock you over. 18 all. Oh, again, a fantastic serve. And again, they're serving into the win with that advantage. Julian and Mark would be looking to try and just almost play defence on some of those balls. They're probably going at around about 90 kilometres an hour, I'd say, at this stage. Big swing to Julian this time. Has a look, sees that he's pulled off the net and just rolls it softly down that line. We really have to be accurate when we're going for the lines, because there's two players can cover a lot of court, but if you can get him off balance like that and really push it towards the line, that's the advantage. 19 all.
And here's Mark on serve.
There you go. They're going playing around. Loses his hat in the process, but he bangs it and Julian can't control that. Great swing by Andrew. That's what I mean about keeping Mark off balance in the blocking. He has to then step out to the side to try and get that attack.
Now this serve brings up the set. 20-19.
See what Andrew can do here into the wind. Nice strong serve. Oh, unlucky there for Mark and Julian. Julian was judged on a mishandling error there. Double hit. He's not happy. That's a technical call. That's a first set to Josh and Andrew.
It's heaven at the moment for Andrew Schott and Joshua Slack, because they've taken the first set. Now we're into the second set. They won the first round, Julian Prosser and Mark Williams. They really need to produce something here if they're to come up with the equaliser here in the second set. Now we've got Joshua Slack on serve. This is for the first point in the second set.
Yeah, they're both looking pretty focused, pretty pumped up here. They're really happy with themselves. Again, Josh serving into the wind. Good, tough serve. Big swing from Mark down there, right on the line. Andrew Schott not able to even get a hand on that one.
Kerry, one thing we saw Shotty doing just before that serve, hands behind the back, calling a move. Does that happen every point?
Pretty much every point, that's right. What they're doing is they're calling to their partner what they want their partner to do, either in the block or back in the backcourt for defence. So they're going to take out... Big swing by Josh there. That there, Mark was trying to take out the line and Julian was on the angle to dig that cross-court spike, but it was just too powerful, and it actually went right into the middle of the court, which is a great place to hit the ball, especially if the block's not covering it enough.
Here's Andrew.
Oh, a little touch shot there. Andrew was good to get a touch on that, but wasn't able to get that up. Mark had a little look. See him have a little look just there. And just knuckles it over the top. We're not allowed to keep our hand open when we play the ball. It has to be either a knuckle or a hit, not a soft touch. Nice soft hit, easily picked up. Bang. Great defence. See if Julian can put it down this time. Has a look over the top. Looking is so important, especially in long rallies like that. You're getting pretty tired at the end and you just don't have enough to put the ball down hard in the sand. You have a look. There's 64 square metres of sand there. You should be able to find some little grain where you can land that ball.
Now here's Mark on serve. Most importantly, they've taken a 2-point lead. Look at those flags. There's quite a breeze out there today.
There is. I think they're having trouble keeping their hats on even. Big swing from Andrew. Hat comes off, but puts that down with a lot of power.
Here's Tim Bailey. He's with Tanya Gooley.
Tell us a bit about the injury.
Well, I actually had a tear in my cartilage. They cut away half of the outer cartilage and I had a cyst as well that was removed. It wasn't a typical cartilage tear. It was wear and tear over the years and it wasn't a real problem knee. So apparently it's going to be a better knee. I didn't think it was that bad a knee, but anyway, I'm on the sidelines now for probably a good 8 weeks and hopefully back in it soon.
I love that knee.
Of course, Tanya is Angela Clark's regular partner. Now back to this point here, 16-11.
Look at that replay there, Julian over the top, gets a touch, and they both go for it. It's a really funny thing when you're both diving for a ball because you don't want to crack heads, but you want to get the ball up. But if you get it up, your partner's on the ground as well. So tough one for those two there.
Wasn't the most coordinated attempt for the ball, but most importantly, they have a lead, 16-12. Now here's Mark on serve to get these boys back into the match. They need to produce something here, Kerry.
They do. They're down quite a few points. It's tough in rally point to be down so many. Oh, and that doesn't help. Doesn't help at all. Julian's not happy. He's ready to rip that net down now.
Once again, that bad end, it's wreaking havoc today, isn't it?
It is. It's very windy out there, but Josh and Andrew have got the good end. Now they're serving into the wind again. Let's have a look. Big serve to Mark. Oh, another great cross-court swing. This time Andrew got a hand on it but couldn't control it. So not only do you have to have the accuracy to get it to the line, you have to put the strength behind it and bang it down so they can't control it.
13-16, Julian on serve.
Going through the middle on the guys here. What can they do? Off the top of his hands. That's that little back run-around play that they're getting very, very good at, Andrew and Josh. Big jump from Josh there. He's just got hang time when he's in the air.
Now here's Andrew.
They're really working Mark here this weekend. Oh, Mark saying, no, I'm not over with this yet. I'm going to bang one back at you down the line. Last time he went cross-court, this time down the line. Beautiful hit from the left-hander there.
A few mind games happening out there. Now here's Mark on serve.
Short ball to Andrew. Line. Good. Julian's on that. Couldn't control it. Too hard for him. Another big swing. Julian's trying to cover a lot of court there. Mark's block is not working as effectively at the moment. He's a little bit too wide on Andrew there, I think. Yep, leaves too much court open from Julian.
That one was coming a mile away. 19-14. Now here's Josh on serve.
At this point, Josh is just going to be hitting it as hard as he can. There you see it. Another great serve. Yeah! Into the net. Mark trying something a little bit different there. A little cut shot, little slice off speed shot to try and catch them out. Short, but he didn't quite make it over the net.
Now this brings up match point for Andrew's shot and Josh Slack. Josh on serve.
Another big serve to Mark. Trying to control that. Great swing. Oh, Josh not happy. He's been caught on a net touch. The referees keep their hand on that rope. You can see just above that little camera there in front of the referee. They keep their hand there just to make sure that the players or the ball aren't touching the net.
What that does is gives Julian and Mark another chance, and well, they really need to take every point from here on in. Here's Julian on serve.
A little smile from Julian. I'm not sure how confident he is that he can serve 6 aces here.
Unfortunately, he can't even get one, but Andrew Schott and Josh Slack are winners of round 2 here in Geelong. They're with Tim Bailey.
Jumping Josh, mate. Geez, you're getting some air up there, aren't you?
Yeah, they've packed the sand nice and hard here, which helps. So I can jump up high and just whack the ball hard, because if every time I shoot, Julian bloody digs it, so I can't do that.
A really disciplined performance by the two of you, focused it, and the skill level came together. It was a high-quality match, but straight sets, that surprised you a little bit?
No, we always try and work on finishing it when we get a bit of a lead, and last time we played them in Coffs, like you said, we weren't quite there mentally and our skills slipped, but today we were right on top of it and proved out in the score.
Congratulations, boys. A nice moment. Go and enjoy
Cheers,
it.
Timmy.
Well, they've atoned for their loss in the semis in the first round at Coffs Harbour. They've got points in the second round here at Geelong today. Kerry Potthast, thanks for your time. Look forward to seeing you round 3 in Manly.
It's going to be a ripper, Ryan.
That's it from us. See you next time.